tiny speakers with huge sound. Let's check them out. Dave Taylor here, and I'm checking out these. These are the Mitchell Acoustics uStream Go portable Bluetooth speakers, and Mitchell Acoustics is just showing up in the United States. They have been selling audio gear in England, and they make really unique and really cool gear. These are, as you can see, wireless portable Bluetooth speakers, but they're not individual. They come as a pair with stereo, and they sound fantastic. They're also really heavy. These are 3 pounds each, and they're made out of metal. And not only do you have this nice big 80mm driver in the front, but you also have a 68mm bass reflex on the bottom. So together, gives you a lot of sound. They're 15 watts each, giving you about 30 total stereo wattage. So that's as big as, like, you know, old school amplifier and hi-fi systems. So lots to like here. In terms of the specs, they are 50 to 18,000 hertz with a total harmonic distortion of less than 1% and a signal to noise ratio of 70 decibels. So for their size, they're pretty remarkable. True wireless stereo, as I said, each has an 8,000 milliamp hour battery, which is part of where the weight comes from, but that gives you 30 hours of playtime on a charge. Now, let's have a quick tour of the back so you can see how that all works. On the left is a 3.5mm AUX input. Then on the right is a USB-C charging plug, or I suppose you could leave them plugged in if you didn't want to use the portable aspect of it. And then that diamond of buttons is volume up and down, and power on and off, and pause play. Now, I don't think you'll ever be using the pause play buttons or the volume buttons, but they do have a built-in TI JRX 8280 Class D amplifier. So they actually have a built-in amp, which you wouldn't think, but in fact it works really well. Now, the charging is interesting because on one end is USB-C to plug into your source for power. Actually, I'm sorry, well, on one end is USB-A, and that's where you're going to plug it into your computer, more likely some sort of a wall charger, not included, you'll have to bring your own. And then it splits to a Y connection, so you get both USB-C, so you can charge both simultaneously. If they are completely dead, it takes 9 hours for a full charge. So you're going to plug it in right after dinner, and the next morning you'll have another 30 hours of playback on these. They do turn off if you just stop playing music. After a little while, they'll just power down. So if you want to have these in the office, and then after a while, you're going to have, like, you know, step out with your phone or something, and they work Bluetooth, and I'll give you music in just a second. But if you just step out and forget to turn them off, no problem, they'll do that themselves. Also comes with really one of the largest manuals I've ever seen for any speakers, considering they're not that complicated. There's a lot in here. It's a lot of different languages, but it also gives you specs and instructions on how to do various things that you will want with these tiny yet terrific sounding speakers. So, having said that, let me point them towards me and let's play some music. Now, I realize that what you hear is still going through my mic and your speakers, but they are stereo. So it gives me a nice separation. And if I go, let's get a little further into this track and turn the volume up, there's a lot of volume coming out of these. There's a really nice response. You can hear there's bass. So really, let me pause that. And I could, of course, have done it from behind, but I got my source device right here. So they have a really nice response. They are not really bass heavy, which would be a surprise since they're not coming from the US. I think in the US we like our bass a little more than anywhere else in the world. That's a separate conversation. But I will say, when you listen to music, they have a nice room-filling sound and a big presence, and they have, of course, that stereo separation, which just about Every music being recorded right now, every CD, every track, all of that is with a stereo separation in mind. So when you have a single speaker pretending to be stereo, it's really not the same as having separate speakers on either side of your listening experience. Now, this is probably a little too close to get a good stereo experience, but for our demo, this works enough. I would actually put these on maybe opposite ends of a 6-foot shelf, and I feel like that would be perfect. But what I will say is that they have a beautiful finish quality. These are really beautiful speakers. They are heavy. They are 4.5 by 4.5 inches by 3.5 inches deep. Like I said, they're 3 pounds each. And so there's a lot of speaker here. They're portable, but I think portable is a little bit optimistic because it's kind of a lot to tote around. But if you're looking for really good sound reproduction that can fill a room much bigger than you'd expect from a speaker this size, then these are definitely something worth checking out. So really, all we need to talk about now is the price. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button and then do the same thing with that little notification, the bell icon, and that makes sure you get notifications of my new videos, and we're connected. If you found this useful, I always appreciate a thumbs up or a like, so go ahead and don't be shy clicking that button too. Cool. Now, these are the Mitchell Acoustics uStream Go portable Bluetooth speakers, and they are $399 for the pair at Amazon.com. Now, that is more spendy than a lot of the sort of plasticky Bluetooth speakers that are out there, but these are going to give you such better sound. You're going to just absolutely enjoy these. These are really ones that I'm pretty much thinking where I can put these here in the studio so I can enjoy them more. So that's all I got. I'm going to go back to my music, so I'll have to catch you in my next video.